Hello everybody. Today we discuss lesson 6, and here we first discuss the imperative mood or mode, which Water calls the tense, which is actually not a tense, so Panchami. So regarding this one, the present stem is used and onto which the special inflections are added. So in the third person singular to, plural and to, and in the second person either it's just a stem or a he is added. We have it here. Jiv, jivahi, live, make your living. Ehi, go, you must go. Vat, vadehi, say, speak. With the stem vowel is a regular change to e, and hu, hohi, be. And here, when the he is added, if the previous vowel is short, it will also get lengthened. He, e, and o are by default long, so they can't get lengthened anymore. So we go back here. We have bhavatu, bhavantu, bhava, bhavata, bhavami, bhavama. Second person plural and first person singular and plural, they are the same as the present tense indicative. Therefore, the context needs to decide what it means, whether it's imperative or present tense. The third person of who is hotu, and of us it's aṭṭhu, and with aṭṭhu it's always to be understood as impersonal, so it may or shall be or may it be. And us is rarely used in other persons, for example, atta, you be. So the meaning of the imperative is it expresses commands as well as prohibitions, but also invitations and wishes. It can, moreover, it can also be used to form prohibitions, ma vadehi, don't speak. It is frequently used with names which are the vocative to address the person directly, and these often follow immediately after the verb. The first person is quite rare to be used in the imperative, and if so, it expresses wishes or pleas or desires, so may I or let us. The second person usually expresses commands and requests, and the third person expresses requests and polite invitations, used with the title and name of the person addressed, or with the polite pronoun bhavant, which we will learn shortly afterwards. The imperative often stands at the beginning of a sentence because emphasis is given to the beginning of a sentence. We had this perhaps. Here, tittato sonadando brahmano tumhe maya sating mantavo. So tittato here is the imperative staying at the beginning of a sentence. So here tittanto bhikkave sattavasani yohi kocha bhikkave ime chattaro satipattane evang bhaveya chavasani pe. So here tittanto also used at the beginning of a sentence. Okay. Regarding the personal pronoun, the polite personal pronoun bhavant, this is actually a present participle of bu bhavati. In fact, it is the present active participle of bu bhavati, used as a pronoun of polite or respectful reference or address, but with the verb of the third person. So tvam being restricted to more of a familiar address. So bhavang, nominative singular, you or sir or his honor, and nominative singular bhavantang. We also have the forms nominative singular bhavang, and then the bahuvachana, the plural bhavanto, bonto, bhavanta, vocative bante, bo, bhavante, banta, Bahuvachana Bante, Bo, Bhavanto, Bonto, and the Dutya Vibhati, the accusative Bhavantang, Bhavante, Bonte, O being a contraction of Ava. So that's why we have, for example, these two forms, once being Bhavanto and as well as Bonto. Okay. Regarding our third aspect, the iti or the T. The T or iti, the T means more or less end quote. It's sent at the end of any passage in direct speech, but marks also something thought. Anything quoted, whether a line of a verse or a single word, for example, in giving a definition or in mentioning a word or concept, is marked in the same way. For example, we have coyote, body, or kusalanti, the word good, the good or the concept of the good. These things are, these words, these individual words are sometimes quoted if, for instance, they are explained perhaps in the commentary or in a commentarial work, and then afterwards a definition or longer explanation of their meaning is given. We have to watch out here with T because it changes the previous Nigahita most of the time into this palatal, beg your pardon, in this dental na. Moreover, indirect speech is exceedingly rare in Pali, so oftentimes it is something quoted in direct speech and then T, he said. Any short vowel immediately preceding T is lengthened as T is actually an abbreviated form of iti. That is, the initial vowel of iti causes the preceding vowel to lengthen. So we have this here, evang devati. Deva should be short because it's the initially it's short because it's the vocative of the masculine noun in short a, deva, but here it lengthens due to the following T, which is an abbreviated version of iti, and the E then causes the previous vowel to lengthen. So this is a bit deceptive as it could be understood almost like the nominative plural or the vocative plural of deva, but it still means it is so, O king, singular. Since T only expresses where the quote ends, we have to know where the quote starts. So here we have to then look for the quote where it starts. Ne sona ti vadami. Na vadami. Na goes together with vadami. I don't say. So this. Na ati does not exist. So this is a bit tricky. If we have such helpful quotations like Raja aṭṭhakathā, the king said this, and afterwards the direct speech follows, which is marked off by T, this would be ideal. But sometimes this Raja aṭṭhakathā is follows the T. So direct speech, afterwards T, and then Raja aṭṭhakathā or idam avocha bhagava. Then we still need to look for the beginning of the sentence. Okay. And sometimes T appears in its fuller form iti, which is an emphatic and form and may generally be translated as this or that or thus, so almost like evang in some sense. It may refer to a statement or a philosophical view or a conception from a distance instead of marking the end of the actual word. Lastly, the sixth conjugation, the sixth class of verbs, the verbs of the tan or sixth conjugation, tanarigana, which some people regard as the seventh conjugation or seventh class, but it is not so much important. They form the present stem with the suffix o. So we have the personal endings are the same as for the first class or first conjugation. So from the root kar, to do, to make, to work. The present tense is kar. We have the root o, the stem vowel, and this is then the karo is the stem, and to which the inflectional ending is added t, the same endings as in the first class. So we have karoti, karonti, karosi, karota, karomi, karoma. The imperative mood is karoto, karonto, third person plural, and karohi, second person singular. So we have a few verbs which are conjugated in such a manner. Pa up, papoti, he attains, he arrives, a rare poetic form, a rare poetic word. And in ordinary speech, pusati and upasankamati is usually used. Vi are karoti, he explains. Tan tanoti, it expands or it stretches. Sak sakoti, he can, he is able to, used with the infinitive. And here the aorist would be asaki. Sometimes karoti is put together with a noun, forming this verb noun construction. For example, sajjayam karoti, he does karoti sajjayam, studying. This would then be the accusative singular because it's the direct object of karoti, the transitive verb. And he does the studying, meaning he studies. Or we learned this before, kanam akasi, which means he did his time or he made his time, meaning he passed away. Some few more words of the first conjugation of first class, anusasati, he advises or he instructs, used especially of ministers of a king, also figuratively of a teacher. So also the Buddha, he instructs or teaches in such a manner or advises. Apikamati, he goes forward, he advances. Eti, he comes. The vowels coalesce. Only the context can decide whether the meaning is goes or comes, because here we have eti, the root vowel e undergoes guna becomes e, and then the a still is coalesces and becomes e. In Sanskrit we would have it, but we don't have this diphthong I, hence we need to be satisfied with a, which then is ambivalent, and the context may decide whether it means come or to go. Kadati, he eats, bites, chews. Pivati, he drinks with an irregular stem. Pahoti, he can, more emphatic than suck. And a few masculine nouns, okaso, opportunity. Tupo, monument, pagoda. Pariyayo, course, literally and figuratively, including a discourse and a manner of doing something. Varno, color, beauty, praise, class. Sanko, conch, like a trumpet. Sajjayo, learning, studying, study. And the indeclinable bhavang, good fortune or best wishes, which oftentimes in greeting goes together with the imperative of as ati, and we had this previously in a previous sentence when we discussed the accusative. So bhavang atto bhavantang joti palang manavang. So bhavang, good fortune, atto, may there be. So bhavang atto, may there be good fortune. Bhavantan, to the sir or his honor, the polite personal pronoun which we just learned. The young boy or the boy or the young priest, Manavang, Jotipala. All right. Ponadasanaya, Tava Baveya, Subham Mangalam.